stand up in front of the group and remember the 4 or 5 but it's all part of the test. Well, we've got lots of updates, and we're going to jump right into it. I'm going to ask Brian Harvey to come on up and give us an update on soccer. I will tell you, between our last luncheon and this luncheon, Brian won his 300th game as our women's soccer coach, which is phenomenal. And then I'm going to also remind you that he's won 371 games as our men's soccer coach. He's the winningest active soccer coach in America. So let's
It's amazing what happens if you stay around long enough. So it's always really is. I mean, players win you games. Coaches, we try to get in the way a little bit here and there, but it's mostly players. And but Jim's always encouraging us to invite people to the Blue-White Luncheon. So I really went the extra yard, and I invited Sandra's mother from Stockholm and Adam Black's mother and father, both from England. So they're here for a week to see how their sons and daughters are doing here. Please stand up. So I'll start with the men, and the men have kind of like they started off tremendously well, and they've hit a little bit of a bump in the road, and we just can't buy any luck at the moment, but they're playing tremendously well. Out of all of our games, we've gone into overtime 7 times, and we've lost 3 of those games, so we're in games, but we're just finding a way not to win games at the moment, and we've got 4 important games coming up this following week. We play tomorrow, Saturday, Tuesday and Saturday, and that will determine basically whether the boys are going to go on to the playoffs or not. So it's a very, very difficult time for us. We've had 1 or 2 injuries, and as I said earlier on when we opened up the season, every coach hopes that they steer clear of injuries to key players. And we've had 1 or 2 bumps along the road, and we kind of like are on the bad end of it at the moment. But they're playing well, and hopefully they'll come through this following week. On the women's side, it's absolutely a delight. They're exciting to watch. They're scoring goals at will. Coach Crayball was saying to me earlier on that it's one of the exciting things he likes about our girls team is that from defense to offense, their transition is absolutely wonderful, and they're scoring goals, as I said, at will. And I think we've shut out the opposition 10 times this season, and I think we scored somewhere around about 50, 60 goals. So it really is a team that really is equipped to go quite deep into the national tournament. Again, if we steer clear of injuries to key players. So it is an exciting team. I encourage you all, please, to come out and watch them play. We play tomorrow evening at 5 o'clock and 7 o'clock, and then on Saturday at 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock. Saturday will be senior day. We have 5 or 6 girls who will graduate in May, and 4 or 5 boys who will graduate in May also. So please come on out and support them. It's a great group of kids, and I think they'd really appreciate your support. Any questions, please, about men or women's soccer?
Brian, what is the women's national ranking, and where are you in the conference?
We're number 1 in the conference at the moment, Jim, and we're ranked 8th in the nation. And there's 3 or 4 teams above us who we're 12-1. There's 3 or 4 teams above us who are 11-4 and 11-3. So we feel the rankings a little bit. But anyway, we'll just have to get to the national tournament and show them. Any questions, please? Okay, thanks a lot.
Brian's hesitation and his answer there. We videotape our luncheons and put them on our website, and we've come to learn that people watch those from time to time, and they may not always agree with our position on things, which is shocking. All right, we're going to move from soccer to wrestling. We start our women's wrestling schedule here this week, in fact this weekend, and the men won't be far behind them. So we're the 4-time defending national champions in women's wrestling. We finished in the national championships last year in men's wrestling. And here to tell you how we're going to be even better this year, please welcome our head coach, Archie Randall. Even better. You can do it.
Even better. We will be even better. I'll start out with the men because the men's team right now, we don't start till the first week in November, and the first week in November we open up against OU, which is always a challenge for us, but lucky for us, OU is going to redshirt about 5 of their kids this year, try to make a push for the next season, which is good for us, gives us a shot to sneak up on them. Last year we had them down 12-3 before they got a hold of my poor freshmen. Well, we don't have freshmen now, we got sophomores, juniors, and seniors. So we'll be a little bit more solid against them. And they don't wrestle us with anybody else no more. They just wrestle us. Used to be we'd wrestle 2 teams, and they don't do that no more. They don't want to take a chance of losing to us, which is kind of a compliment, even though they beat us up. It's okay. The men's team, we are making some adjustments in our weights. Our heavyweight, Mike Brown, if you ever seen Mike Brown, he's kind of a great big huge guy. He's going down to 197. Our 197 pounders going down to 184. Our 184 pounders going down to 174. We've got a new 165 pounder in transfer from OSU, which is he's a 2 or 3-time junior national champion, couple of time Oklahoma champion. At 157, we're bringing out Mark Myers. Mark Myers is a 3-time national qualifier who we redshirted last year. At 149, we've got Hunter Muskrat and Josh Stewart. Josh Stewart's a senior, Hunter a junior. Hunter's a 2-time national qualifier. At 41, I got real lucky and I have a transfer from Wyoming. He's a redshirt sophomore who wrestled at Wyoming last year. And then at 133, we have Trevon Smith, who's coming back, which is a real good deal. At 125, I've got 3-time national qualifier Kid Gomez. And at heavyweight, we bring out a redshirt Stan Lattimore, who's a junior college All-American. So the guys' team looks really good on paper right now, but there's always, with wrestling, there's always weight issues. Everything else you can think of, an injury issue. So right now the men's team looks pretty good on paper, and we think we can make a run at it this year, which is kind of important to them. They're working real hard. It's the hardest working team that I've had since I've been as far as the men. Swinging to the women, we are not ranked number 1. We are ranked number 2 this year behind King, which is great. It's okay. It's fine. I do the rankings. The King coach is real upset about this. He wants to know how can he not. Why is he number 1 and I'm number 2? Because I want him number 1. I want him number 1. I figure the points out. I showed him how it's done. It's right. They're number 1 for right now. I want them to stay that way. I want them to be comfortable there till this weekend. We return 10 All-Americans, 2 national champions on our team, and we're really, really young. We have like, I think, 12 or 13 freshmen coming in. 2 of them will start. We've had a couple of injuries. Our national champ at 116, Joy Miller, got a high ankle sprain. She's coming off that right now. We'll hope to wrestle her this weekend. But her backup is a girl named Shelby Morrison, who was an undefeated 4-time champ from Texas, and she's doing real well. So we'll be okay there. Our heavyweight, Sanoa Spencer, which is, we lost Brittany Delgado this year, which I thought was the most athletic big girl I've ever seen. Sunny, that's what we call her Sunny. Sunny is a tremendous athlete. She's a tremendous athlete. She's coming off knee surgery, and she's, we're going to put her in a little bit this weekend too. There'll be 18 teams at this tournament this weekend, the 2 days of wrestling. We'll wrestle 4 times on Friday and 4 times on Saturdays. It's the first time that there's ever been an event like this in the United States. We have 2 Canadian teams coming in. One of them got stuck. Winnipeg won't be here because they got stuck someplace. I don't know where they got stuck at. They can't make it in. But it'll be the first time that anything's been done like this. If you come out and watch us wrestle, you'll get to see the girls wrestle 2 or 3 times. We will wrestle 2 teams. We will have 2 teams entered in the tournament. We'll wrestle our 1s and also our 2s too will get a chance. So you'll get to see a lot of wrestling. We'll have 6 mats on the floor. There's 20 teams. That's a lot of wrestling. And hopefully we'll be done by Saturday afternoon maybe. But, of course, we're seeded #1 at the tournament. King is there. King got seeded #2. I do the seeding. That's the way it goes. Now they're really mad. They can be upset. Plus I put Alberta will be there, and Alberta's pretty good, so Alberta's on their side, and I think we have Simon Fraser on our side. So we split the Canadian teams up. You'll see 2 or 3 new teams, 2 or 3 new college teams there too that are coming out. And what's interesting about women's wrestling is 6 years ago when we started this program, we were team #6. There were 6 teams, 50 girls at the national tournament. There are 23 colleges now. 23 colleges that wrestle, there'll be over 300 girls at our national tournament. Like I told you, there's 18 teams here this time. Recruiting-wise, now it's not an easy thing to recruit. I think they signed over 180 girls, which is, there's not enough women wrestlers now for the schools, plus we're adding 2 more next year. We're still 1 team away from being recognized as emerging sport with NAI, which is 15 teams. We're at 14. So hopefully next year we'll add 1 more and we'll be part of the NAI, which I want to do because then we don't have to worry, I don't have to do any loose stuff. I can't think of anything else. Anybody have any questions about anything? Come watch us wrestle. Yes,
Archie, tell them the time, 9 to 1, both days.
Oh yes, it'll be 9 to 1 for the preliminary rounds, and then second round start about 2. And if you missed Starman yesterday, Starman will be there too.
Starman was fun last
Starman will be there. Starman's supported the volleyball team too, and the soccer team. Starman's a goofball. Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Well, I'm shocked nobody asked how we go about losing all this weight. If you met Mike at our luncheon last year, Mike's name is Big Mike. Big Mike's a big guy, and I know he wasn't 285 pounds, but
260.
to go down to 197 seems like a long way to go for me. I'm still one, so. All right, we're going to move to cross country. We've involved ourselves in a lot of things cross country and track, and here to give us an update, welcome our head coach, Conor Holt.
I know Jim's been looking at his watch there, so I'll do the equivalent of what Usain Bolt does on the track. I'll speak fast. So yeah, we've had a good start to the season. Obviously, I brought in a huge recruiting class, 19 kids, and we have an average ACT score with that group of about 25 now. We're just getting our midterms in right now, so we'll see what that ACT score will do for these kids here. But yeah, good start to the season. We've broken records on both sides. The men's 8K record's gone. Freshman out of Santa Fe broke that. And then on the ladies' side, freshman out of Canada, she smashed the 5K record. And it seems like every time they race, they break records. Our last race, we tied with Rogers State. They were nationally ranked in the cross-country meet. OBU, obviously, is our #1 competitor out there. And Mr. Sanders over there always gives me lots of credit about that. So one day I know we're going to beat them, so I'm looking forward to that day. So, but yeah, we've got a big test coming up this weekend. We're going to meet, will probably be about 200, 250 kids in each race. So that will give us a really good idea going into our conference meet, which is 2 weeks after that, to kind of give us an idea where we hope to place. But yeah, great group of kids. The last 3 or 4 workouts have gone really well. I'm actually throwing Division 1 workouts at them now. It's kind of cool to do that, coming from a Division 1 background. But you know, it really just starts with having a great coaching staff. Myself, my wife out there, Amy, another one of our coaches, a great massage therapist, Rocky Chan's here too today, and then just bring great kids in, and these kids are great. And then it's all about recruiting, and we have a young lady with us today from Metro Christian High School. She's a senior. Go ahead and stand up. Her name's Maddie Duncan, and she wants a study person. And you know, just like everything else, it comes down between us, St. Gregory's and OBU, I think. So I feel really good. So we'll see what happens. But great kid, and looking forward to seeing how she does here in the state meet coming up in next week. So yeah. So any questions for me?
You want to mention your race series or the training?
Oh yeah, we did a race series there just recently, 3 race series. I do a lot of fundraising projects during the year. There's because obviously that's a big part when you're building a roster of about 50, 55 kids. You know, you want to have resources, funding, that kind of stuff. So we just did a 3-race series with Red Coyote. It was great. We did a 2-miler back in August, middle of August, right before school started. Then we did a 5K cross-country race at Remington Park, and we actually did it with the college races, and it was kind of fun. Remington Park kind of sat down with me, and we decided, you know, maybe do a partnership down the road here, so that went really well. And then we just did a mile race at Bishop McGuinness, and yeah, it went off really well, and we're hoping maybe next year we'll do a 5-race series. We'll add a costume race and a relay race, so that's the plan. But great fundraiser, and then obviously the coaching, you know, we do a lot of things on the side, behind the background, so that these kids will have a really good experience. That's what it's about, having a great experience and giving these kids an opportunity that they enjoy, and then they'll come back and support us down the road. So.
How unique is Remington Park to run at?
It's pretty unique, you know. We got what we did is we went out there and we figured out a nice grass loop. The great thing about it is it's a mile loop, so it's pretty easy to figure out when you have a mile loop. But you know, we've got some good ideas down the road. I think, you know, wouldn't mind maybe someday hosting a state meet out there. That's one of the visions I have. That'd be kind of cool, not only for that, but just for recruiting, and then maybe one day build a track. So yeah. All right. Any other questions? Yep.
Conor, can you get it a little earlier? Seemed like it got hot that day.
You know, we were waiting on those horses to finish their training, you know. Next year I'm hoping to go a little bit later in the season because they had their big derby that was coming up the following weekend. But, you know, it was only 3 miles, sure, you know, kind of got hurt, you know. So.
Are there any dangers in running after the horses?
No, because they actually run on the dirt. We ran on the grass. So yeah, so the only difference in that was, you know, was just the grass was a little spongy, which means it didn't give much take. So kind of when you ran on it, you're kind of like dead in your legs a little bit. But it's cross country, you know. I ran in that stuff growing up in Ireland. I didn't bother me. Any other questions? All right, thank you.
I told Maddie I couldn't run from here to the door without a break, and so 3 miles, I understand dead legs, but I can't fathom running 3 miles in a row.